something about the potter's wheel. You see, that's the reason your life is in turmoil. Because, see, the old potter's wheel turned in one direction. But now they got a new potter's wheel in Israel that turns in the other direction. You see, you start praying, and all of a sudden, it seems like you're getting beat down. Because, see, there's something about when you hit clay, and you got to follow him pretty much. It's something about when you start to mash clay down and start to form something with clay. You see, anything formed with clay has to have a foundation to it. So you, of course, as soon as you get it, you got to mash it down. You see, there's something about clay. You can take a piece of it right here, and then you can tear a piece off and put it over here, and even though they both clay, now they separated. God start taking things out of your life when you start praying. Oh, be careful when you call for God's hand. He is a sovereign God. He is an all-knowing God. He is a powerful God. He'll start to move people out of your life. He'll start to change the way you think. Oh, be careful when you say you want his hands on you. Be careful. He's going to start to make you into somebody new. You won't have a choice into who you become then. Because the power is with the potter. And the clay is on the wheel. And ain't no getting off this wheel right now, baby. Ain't no getting off this wheel now. You called him into your situation. You called upon his name. You said you wanted to be his child. Well, oh, that come with some persecution. Oh, that come with some broke days. Oh, that come with some lonely days. Hey, I wonder, does anybody want to be on the wheel that I'm preaching about this moment? Sit down, I ain't done yet. God's hands are sovereign hands. They move at their own will. Man can't dictate how they move. God's hands are sovereign hands. They cause storms in one area, then they bring blessings in another area. Oh my God. We try to understand things that we'll never have an understanding of until we reach the streets of gold. Oh Lord, why are they starving in Africa and we throwing food away? Lord have mercy. Lord, why is another person don't even seem like they're serving God and they got everything? I'm paying tithes, praying, rolling around on the floor, snotting, ain't got nothing. God, when are your hands going to be on me? There's things about God we don't understand. He's sovereign. Can't explain it all. Why two people commit the same crime? One of them get life, one of them get away. Only thing that's missing is hands. Look at this. This is Exodus 13. Exodus 3, 19 through 20. It says, and I am sure that the king of Egypt would not let you go, not by a mighty hand. And I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all wonders, which I will do in the midst thereof. And after that, he will let you go. And I will give this people favor in the sight of the Egyptian, and it shall come to pass that when you go, you shall not go empty. Watch this. What was natural disaster to the Egyptians was a blessing to the children of Israel. Oh, 10 plagues came. What made the Egyptians cry, what made the Egyptians hurt, made the Israelites give him praise. See, that's the reason we don't understand his hands. See, what is bad in your life sometimes, other people praying for that. You sitting on the job talking about, I wonder, I'm just so, is they going to let me go? Is they going to lay me off? And somebody out there saying, ooh, I just wish I could get one paycheck for 1 week. Y'all ain't going to help me this morning. You understand what I'm saying? What you say is pain. Somebody else is saying, ooh, I wish I had that. You two car notes behind. Wonder if they coming to get it. The other person catching the bus. Say, I wish I had that car that was just about getting ready to get repossessed. But I wonder, are you ready for God's hands? This is what you call for when you get down on your knees and say, God, step into my situation. This is what you call for when you get down on your knees and you say, God, change my husband. He might get saved for real, and then you got to obey. Anybody got that pen, then go ahead and drop it right now. See, you know what? We call for God to change our children. Well, he may make him a pastor, and you got to join his church, and he become your leader, mother. See, we don't understand when we call for God's hands to be on somebody. Because he's a sovereign God. Then he can start doing whatever he wants. Me and Brother Ron were discussing some things this week. And remember, y'all, ain't nobody got no monopoly on God. And nobody got no monopoly on how God works. God is sovereign. Just because he did something one way one time, that don't mean he's going to do it the same way every time. That's the reason you got to keep your ears open and your eyes open. And you got to keep your heart open to his change and his move. You got to be the clay. And however he tries to mold you, that's what you got to allow to be done in your life. You see, we think God's hands are like man's hands, and they're not. Watch this. God's hands. God's hands create unsurmountable obstacles so that he can empower you to overcome them. That's the reason he started talking about Pharaoh. See, in that day, Pharaoh was equal to who? God. And it was almost unheard of for anybody to walk in front of Pharaoh and tell Pharaoh what to do. But you see, the hands of God created an insurmountable obstacle, and then he empowered Moses to overcome it. One man with 1 million members and couldn't even hardly preach. And he walked in there in front of what the world considered God and said, let my people go. Oh, I wonder, are there some insurmountable obstacles in your life today that you want the hand of God to touch and be on? That's what happens when we call for God's hands. Obstacles are created. Things start to happen in our life that we don't even understand. Watch this thing here. When we call for God's hands, look, he has the power to create whatever and whatever he likes, whether man understands it or not. That's what Paul was talking about when he said, wait a minute, how can the creation question the power of the power?